Hello guys, it is the beginning of a new weekly vlog. Wow, I'm like super zoomed in here. I haven't really got too much to update you yet about books. I haven't really got, but I just wanted to say I am like over halfway through now of Airs Above Ground and it's picking up. I read a bunch of it this morning, which I don't normally read fun things in the morning, but I wasn't quite able to focus on larger things. And I read Daniel 5 and I read a bunch of commentaries on it because tonight is Bible study. And I'm just like, I was just doing a training for my library and I was talking about new releases. So it's been a bookish day, even though I don't have too much yet to talk about for this week. But I wanted to talk about Daughters of Nantucket. Have you guys heard of that? I guess this stuck out to me because I have been reading Moby Dick, not really actively, but I was reading Moby Dick and it mentions Nantucket and whaling, and I didn't know anything about Nantucket at all. So it was just interesting that this one came up, and apparently it's, I guess, a place where women, this seems like this happens out in like almost frontier type places, or like rural places where it's more, in history, it's more about a meritocracy than about your gender. So a female could really get ahead in those places in the past in history if she was just really good at what she was doing, basically. And that's what Willa Cather portrayed in O Pioneers with her female lead. But anyways, and I also wanted to talk about this because this is what I have been spending my free time so far yesterday doing, and what I'll be doing in a minute here when Kevin gets home. He came home early yesterday and he came home early today so that we could play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild was my favorite game in years, and I've played it through, one whole time, and I started a second game and I was playing it through again, and now we have this. So, and I've been talking with Tiffany about it because she and her daughter got it as a gift from a family member, which was super exciting. Oh, Kevin is home now. He doesn't normally get home this early. It's 3:30, but he's doing it so we can play the game. So I just wanted to talk about this briefly because I love it. So that's my update for now. And I'm gonna have Bible study tonight. I got some homework done earlier for BA. So hopefully I'll get a little bit more of that done tonight, and then back into this, straight in. I really want to finish this, and I feel like my focus is there. I could do it, maybe. I didn't have good focus for reading last night, so hopefully today. Okay, I'll talk to you in a couple days, probably. The landscape of this game is so cool. And like, even the, like, look at his sandals, the lace-up sandals. It's like very Greco-Roman looking. I just love it. It's so different from Breath of the Wild, but I love them both. Hello vlog! It is now May 18th, and it's a Wednesday, and I wanted to show you my deck plant. My mom set me up with an extra tomato plant that she had, and some water, and I really actually need to refill this because this is the end of my water. But anyways, I just thought I would give you a little update. Can head back in the house and I'll give you an update. But yeah, Kevin cut the weeds and it looks so nice. Hello guys. Okay, I think my head's probably gonna be cut off. Ah, my goodness. Let's go back a little further. Okay, so reading update. I didn't bring over here the book by Mary Stewart, the thriller that I've been reading, Airs Above Ground, but I spent a considerable amount of time this morning reading that. Oops, maybe I can prop you up just a little bit more because I really feel like I'm hunching here. Yes, I'm using kitchenware to prop you up. Okay, oh yeah, and there's all the dirty dishes. Awesome. Okay, that's not much better. That's okay. Okay. So I spent, quite a bit of the morning reading that because tomorrow it turns out I'm gonna have to go out of town and get blood work done, which I do every week before, every couple months before we have appointments with my rheumatologist. So that's unfortunate. But we'll get some yummy food when we come back, and then we'll go shopping. So we'll make a day out of it. It'll be fun. But, and then I'll have K-drama with Tiffany, which I'm so excited about because we've missed a few weeks. So right now I'm making a zucchini pancake, and it's with 1 egg, some oat flour, and I'm probably just gonna use like half of this zucchini. Hopefully that's not too annoying for you. I think cooking sounds are really soothing personally, but I'm sure not everybody likes that, so you can fast forward this if you don't like it. Regardless, so I won't obviously have a lot of time for reading tomorrow. I have about 70 pages left in the book, but I read like probably over 100 today, you know. I just was really into it, so I don't think I'll have a problem finishing it, but if I do, it'll just be like the very end that I miss. And even though this book isn't what I would call predictable, I feel like I know what's gonna happen in the end because I don't think it's gonna like break my heart. It's been like pretty chill as far as thrillers go. The whole thing pretty much is set in Austria except for the very beginning because the 2 main characters that we're following are from England. But they're in Austria and they're like following a circus troupe around, and the husband of one of the characters, who is the reason that they're out here in Austria, ends up being part of, like, he's trying to crack down a drug ring. It's like really fun. It's super, super fun. It's definitely holding my attention. I can't read it every night because I don't have an audiobook for it, and it can, and especially because it's getting so exciting towards the end here, that yeah, it's definitely a little too exciting for bedtime reading right now. Okay, thank goodness that's the end. Maybe just a little more of the zucchini. Okay, so the other thing that I've been reading, and yeah, hopefully I'll finish that before our meeting. And then the other thing that I've been reading is The Pioneers by David McCullough. And that is, I don't know, there's parts of it where I really like it and I think, oh, I'm so glad I'm reading this, because I just think that reading American history for me is not that complicated. It's not very complex. It's not super dense, and it's a pretty short book, so it's pretty fast paced. So I feel like it's pretty easy as far as history reading goes, but it's still history, which makes me happy. I don't know why, for whatever reason lately I've just been like, all I want to read is history. But I don't have as much time to devote to it all the time because it takes a lot out of me to read history, because I really like to take notes, like extensive notes. I'm sure I could get a lot more history reading in and probably even learn a lot more if I let go of taking notes a little bit and just enjoyed it. I'm sure that not everybody who reads history, in fact I know that not everybody who reads history takes extensive notes on every history book that they read. But for whatever reason, that seems to be the way that I'm doing it. I just really like being able to talk about it afterwards and remember it, and I just don't feel like I can do that if I'm just listening and not also reading. So I am listening to it, and let me see how far I am into it. But last night and a couple nights ago, I've been reading over what I listened to, just so that I can follow it a little bit better. There are quite a lot of characters, so I'm 19% through the audiobook. And I'm hoping I can finish that up pretty quickly, actually, because there's some other things that I really want to get to. And so I'm not going to probably be prioritizing physically reading it anymore. Maybe just a little bit more to get to the end. Ugh, it looks so bad with my head cut off. Sorry, guys. Maybe I could get another thing. I just don't want it to like fall, because this is not my camera. It's actually my work camera, and they're just generous enough to let me take it home. So, anyways, so I'm enjoying it though. It's just that the problem I think with David McCullough that I've found is that he really hops around a lot, and it's not like the writing's bad either. Like sometimes he'll throw in a clever line or two. It's just it's really hard for me to follow personally. I prefer maybe I just prefer biographies or something, like direct biographies. But I don't know, I found biographies can be a little bit too dense for me, and I just never get through them all the way. The exception to that, of course, is the great biography by Ron Chernov of Washington, which I was able to listen to quite a lot of. And I think that's a testament to his writing style. It's so easy to listen to, and of course I would have to backtrack and read portions of it. You know, if I wanted to remember it, I'd have to like review it. But I feel like I did pretty well with that one in remembering it, and so that's partly why I loved it so much. It was just so accessible to me as somebody who was never particularly good at history, because my memory is not very long. I do not have a long-lived memory. Yeah. So anyways, I'm enjoying it, but it's probably like a 30-star book, The Pioneers. Yeah, because I can't just listen to it. Like, he switches things around so much. I am trying, like I said, I'm gonna try. So there's a group of, it's interesting because there's a lot that I just didn't realize about the process. So I mentioned that Samuel Cutler, who is the main guy that the book is following, he is like the representative of a group of people who want to buy a lot of land in Ohio and make it available to like veterans and people who will settle it, you know, in the English style, and set up schools, and they really want to set up a university. And so there's all these interesting details about what they want to do and how it had to be done. Because at this point, Congress, there's still no president, and Congress is like extremely in debt. So it's been really interesting hearing about him haggling with them over like the price of the land in Ohio. And this is like the biggest, you know, contract kind of a thing that Congress will have done up until this point. So it's just like he's making history, and it's interesting in that way. And so they finally just arrived in Ohio, and where I am in the book, and I need to wash my hands. Hang on. Hello again. We moved over to the stove. I have it right here. And I am just finishing mixing up the ingredients for this. So it just needs some pepper and salt. This is a TikTok recipe, by the way. I don't know if you all like TikTok recipes, but it's great for inspiration. I've been finding a lot of things under at first when you look at TikTok for food stuff, you see like a lot of unhealthy stuff mainly. But there are people, like there's a lot of nutritionists who are on there showing like easy cooking hacks and stuff. And I started finding them, you know, when I started looking at Whole30 recipes, because Whole30 is one of those diets that I don't follow strictly. It's actually a challenge, not a diet. It's supposed to just be something you do for like a month, because it will help you develop the habit of including vegetables as your like main source of nourishment, vegetables and meat, rather than like grains and dairy and stuff like that. So it's like all about building fresh food into your diet. So it's not something that you're supposed to do for that long. It's just like a challenge to get you thinking. And I actually found that I couldn't do it. I actually had a panic attack while I was on it. So I can't really do that. But regardless, there were some great recipes that I discovered through that. And so since then, I've been finding lots of great recipes on TikTok. I think it finally figured out the kind of recipes that I like. So this one, let me see if I can check who did this recipe. So I haven't tried it yet. So Matteo is the name of the cook. So we'll see if it's any good. I honestly have no idea. I love pancakes, but I can't really eat them because I always just feel so terrible after eating them. Even using like buckwheat and stuff like that. I don't know, there's just something about pancakes or waffles that are just too rough on my body. So I don't make them very often. But in this case, since it's zucchini based, I was hoping maybe it'd be okay. And since I'm using oat, I feel like I don't have quite enough flour in this though. So, oh, I don't have any flour in it. I haven't poured the flour in yet. Nice. That would have been very smooth. So this is my oat flour. I don't know if I actually, whoa, sorry, hitting you. I don't know if I'm actually using enough oat flour here, but we're gonna try it. And I just made oat flour by grinding rolled oats in my Ninja, what blender? Gosh, words. Apparently I cannot do too many things at once. So anyways, okay, back to the reading update. I also have been reading a book called Greek for the Rest of Us, and I didn't actually write down his name, but he's a famous author of like Greek textbooks for the classroom. And I tried some of his other books. They're all available for free through the library, which is amazing. Certainly better than nothing. But I was finding that they're really written for text for the classroom. So we're gonna see how far I can get in Greek for the Rest of Us, because it actually started off great. It started off with a lecture. Here we go, I'm sticking my pancakes in. I don't think there's enough flour in this, but we'll just see what happens. So it started off with a great lecture about kind of the origins of the Greek language and the different strains of language and how they developed. And so it compared like Latin and Greek, because people, I guess, will frequently ask, should I learn Latin or Greek? And he actually said, I didn't realize this, but English is part of a Germanic line of languages. And so there's this, what did he call it? It's like a whole family, I think was the word he used. It's a family of languages that come from it's like a proto-language that we put together. Proto, dang. I should have marked it down before talking to you guys about it. Maybe I'll do that next time I talk to you guys. But anyways, fascinating. And it talked about how Latin is actually from a totally different family. It's just that because English and German and Austrian and French they were all in the same area, developing in the same area at the same time, there's like a ton of loan words. So I think basically Roman, it was interesting. Regardless, I thought it was interesting. I don't know if everybody would think linguistics is interesting, but yeah. So it talked about how Greek basically, here, let me see if I can just, Greek interacted with other languages, and that's how Koine Greek came to be, the biblical Greek came to be like the common language used in the time when like Jesus was living, Paul was living. This is why the Koine Greek language was the dialect used to write the New Testament, because it was like Greek it was like the common language at the time. And so it was heavily influenced by other languages and by other dialects of Greek, but it lost a lot of the subtlety of like the classical Greek language. So it's very it's like common speaking. So it's very interesting. I'm really enjoying the book so far. Not too far into it yet, but yeah, enjoying that. And the other thing I wanted to tell you guys was the K-Tropeathon group pick has been chosen, and I will show you which one it is because it's very exciting. So I have actually read, here we go. So the winner is Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho. And so Comeback, the first one, is one that I've actually already read, and I loved it so much. I've never read anything quite like that probably since I was a teenager, and I loved it. So I was kind of hoping that one would win because I want to reread it. But that one got the least amount of votes, so that's clearly not happening. Falling for Korea did pretty good by Piper Jean, which surprised me because I hadn't heard about that anywhere until Dia sent it to me. Thank you, Dia. It put it on my map, and it seems like a lot of people were interested in Falling for Korea. And that one actually has like a suspense element to it. So I thought, oh, I'll throw in like a kind of romantic suspense one just to kind of vary up the genres a little bit. But Once Upon a K-Prom also sounds fun. Also, I think Once Upon a K-Prom is set in America, whereas Comeback and Falling for Korea are both set in Korea. So I could be wrong though about Once Upon a K-Prom. Could be wrong about that. But anyways, I know that Kat Cho isn't she Korean American? I think she is. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm excited though that got chosen. I know that one has a lot of name recognition, so I kind of figured that would happen. So, yay! Our choice has been made, and I've never read a full Kat Cho book. So, excited to try this one, excited to read it with you guys. There's so many details of ktropeathon coming together now. It's so exciting. You are seeing the making of a readathon in progress here. So, announcement video will be coming out soon, hopefully at the very beginning of next month. So I should be filming very soon. All right, well, I'm making my little zucchini pancakes, and so I'm gonna go because they're taking forever to cook, but I'll talk to you guys soon, probably at the end of the week. Bye! These are surprisingly good. Like, I think they're really good fresh. I don't know how they'd be if you had them in the fridge or something. They might get too, the moisture might make them not as crispy and yummy. But regardless, I'm putting an egg on top of mine. Hey there guys, so I am off to Santa Rosa today with Kevin, but I just wanted to tell you that I finished Airs Above Ground last night, and I did go to Reading Sprints last night on Kate House Patreon, and that was so fun. I finished my recipe planning for next week, so that was exciting, and that I made a little more progress in this last night, and I finally finished it today, so yay! And I decided to DNF the Pioneers, not because it's bad, but like I said, the writing style of David McCullough just doesn't mesh with me very well, and I think maybe the subject matter is also not something I'm like super like vividly interested in right now. I'm interested in learning, I think, maybe other countries' history a little bit more than America's right now. Not because I don't enjoy American history, I do, but I don't know, something about this just wasn't grabbing me, and that's okay. So anyways, yeah, I'll update you a little bit later in the week and let you know what else is happening. Okay, bye. I forgot to mention that I think I'm gonna go back to Nothing to Envy now that I have the Pioneers. Now that I've DNF'd the Pioneers, I will only have the audiobook of this for a couple more days. So then I'll probably switch to Moby Dick finally, or maybe switch this to my main reading. I don't know. I'm still contemplating DNFing it. It's just not grabbing me anymore. Really sad about that. Hey guys, so we had our book club meeting for Airs Above Ground with Emma's book club, and it was so fun to discuss, and we just got the schedule. Actually, I just got the schedule for the rest of her book club for the rest of the year, and I'm so excited about it. Emma's book club is amazing. And then we had Kate's Patreon. There was a lecture on boring heroines in like British literature, and it just made my heart sing because the doctor speaking there was talking about Fanny, and we talked about Edmund. Yeah, it was so good. So now we're heading over to get some frozen yogurt, and we might get some lunch after that, but we're gonna go to the library, which is why I'm vlogging. So as you can see, I am somebody who likes a little frozen yogurt with my toppings. But I did get a little bit of blackberry, a little bit of chocolate, and a little bit of strawberry tart. But what I'm really here for, like, I'm so obsessed with their peanut butter cookie dough. So good. Oh, it's already melting. Here is what we are returning. I just have to say, that was one of my favorite frozen yogurts I've ever had. Lots of peanut butter and chocolate. And I don't think I'm going to need lunch now. But last night when we got home from our doctor appointment, I made this veggie bowl that was so good, and I thought about vlogging it, but it wasn't that pretty. But it was this Korean carrot salad, which I just made a bunch of out of like 2 pounds of carrots last week, and so it's just been great. I can just add a little bit of that onto whatever I'm eating, and there's my veggies for that meal. So I did that, and I had, what else did I have it? I had kimchi, but I forgot to put it on there, so no kimchi. Oh, I had cooked corn that I just cut off of the cob that we'd been using for tacos, and that was really yummy. And it was like almost like just bibimbap style, except, oh, I roasted some cauliflower in my air fryer. I forget what else that I had, but it was so good. I highly recommend making your own version of bibimbap because it can be really healthy and yummy, and it can really give you that kind of taste for variety. You can just throw whatever you've made for the week if you have just like some leftovers. Yeah, it worked out really well. I also wanted to tell you guys that I did read a little bit more of Nothing to Envy, and I am enjoying it a lot, and I think I'm gonna switch to audiobook because I think I know the characters, at least some of them now, and I was having trouble getting past a certain portion of it because it was involving one character's history as somebody who fought in the Korean War on the side of South Korea, and talking about his experience in North Korea as a result, where he has like really low songbun, which is it's kind of like status, and it's based on birth, and so it's really interesting, but I was having trouble focusing on it for a while, but then I just started listening to it last night, and I think that's gonna be like the way to go for me. So I'll show you what books we got from the library. Thank you for picking them up. Okay, here are the books. So first we have the Sherwood Ring by Elizabeth Marie Pope, which you can probably guess. I'm curious about this because Kate Howe and Emma, the Bookish Princess, just had a meetup where people read this and discussed it, and Rainey was there, and they vlogged it, and it looked, I'm just very curious about it. I've never read anything by Elizabeth Marie Pope, but Emma just talked about possibly reading a different book of hers for her book club. So now we'll see. But this one mentions ghosts of colonial ancestors, and I'm a big fan of ghost stories as long as they're not too scary. So yeah, we'll see. I might end up trying that. And then a subscriber mentioned Vespertine by Margaret Robertson. Is that what it is? Rogerson. Anyways, this one sounded so good that I just decided to order it physically, and I have the audiobook, so I'm gonna try it out, and we'll see if it's something that I can recommend to our teenagers. I'm in love with this cover. It looks amazing. And I got this again for the third time because I still haven't reviewed The Case Against the Sexual Revolution. So hopefully before it has to go back again, I'll be able to go through it, organize all my notes, and then finally film the review that I've been wanting to do for forever. And finally, we have Monster Volume 2, which I didn't get to finish before it had to go back last time. So probably start this like right away because I want to know what happens. And I just found out that this manga is actually an anime as well on Netflix, and I had no idea. So Kelly and I are definitely gonna watch the anime after we finish however many books of the manga it's are a part of the anime. So anyways, that is it, guys. I'm gonna head out because we're gonna go to the store, and I'm not sure how much more reading I would get done this weekend. So this will be the end of this weekly vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And K-Prom is coming, so let me know if you're gonna participate. All right, I'll talk to you soon.